Are you looking for the best business laptops? In this video we will look at some of the best business laptops. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. HP Spectre X36014, 2024. The best work laptop we've tested is the HP Spectre X36014, 2024. This premium 2-in-1 laptop features a sturdy all-aluminum chassis with a thin and light design, which makes it a great choice for those who travel a lot. Using Intel's new Meteor Lake processors, light productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, spreadsheets, and presentations are a breeze, and its NPU, Neural Processing Unit, accelerates AI features like Windows Copilot. Battery life is excellent, so you don't need to worry about charging it throughout the workday. You can charge the laptop over USB-C, giving you the freedom to use a wide range of compatible chargers. The overall user experience is great. You get a sharp 2.8K OLED display with touch and pen input, an excellent haptic touchpad, and a 4K webcam. A fingerprint sensor and facial recognition camera are also included for quick logins. Port selection is decent, including one USB-A and two USB-C/Thunderbolt 4s, so you can transfer files quickly and connect multiple peripherals and external displays. There's also support for Wi-Fi 7. Unfortunately, the RAM isn't user replaceable, so make sure you get enough for your needs upfront. Lastly, remember that OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in, and their flickering can be bothersome to some. Number 2. HP Pavilion Aero 13, 2024. Our mid-range pick is the HP Pavilion Aero 13, 2024. You can configure this 13-inch ultra-portable with an AMD Ryzen 5 or 7 CPU, which are more than adequate to handle light tasks like text processing, spreadsheets, and presentations. Display options include an FHD Plus and a QHD Plus IPS panel. Both look sharp and get bright enough to provide good visibility in well-lit settings. Its 1440p webcam produces a sharp but slightly overexposed image, so you'll have to tweak the settings or lighting a bit to look your best on video calls. Windows Hello facial recognition support is present, which is great if you want to avoid typing your password in public areas. The battery lasts around 10 hours of light use, and you can charge the laptop over USB-C, so you won't have to deal with a proprietary charger. The biggest compromise for this model's more budget-friendly price is its build quality, which is a significant step down compared to our picks above. Its aluminum and plastic chassis exhibit a fair amount of flexing, and the device as a whole feels hollow. Also, the finish scratches easily from everyday use. Another minor complaint is the touchpad. It's plastic and doesn't track continuous inputs all that well, like when dragging and dropping items across a long distance. Number 3. ASUS Vivobook 16M1605, 2024. The best laptop for business we've tested for when you're shopping on a budget is the ASUS Vivobook 16M1605, 2024. This ultra-portable feels well built for the price and isn't overly bulky for a 16-inch device, so it's still easy to carry around. You can get this laptop with an AMD Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 CPU, which are more than adequate to handle general productivity tasks. As for the RAM, it has 8GB soldered onto the motherboard in a SODIMM slot, so if you can't find a model with 16GB, you can always get an 8GB model and upgrade it yourself. Battery life is okay at around 8 hours of light use, which means you may need a quick charge to get through a typical workday, depending on your usage. This model delivers a pretty good user experience overall. It has a spacious full-size keyboard with a numpad, which is handy for those working with lots of numbers, as well as a large and responsive touchpad. You get Wi-Fi 6E wireless connectivity, a fingerprint sensor for quick logins, and a decent port selection with 3 USB-As, a USB-C, and an HDMI. Unfortunately, the USB-C doesn't support video output, so you'll have to use the HDMI port to connect an external display. The main drawback of this laptop is the display. Its 1080p resolution looks reasonably sharp at this screen size. However, it's quite dim at around 250 candelas per square meter of brightness, so visibility may be an issue in well-lit rooms. It also looks washed out due to its narrow color gamut. Number 4. Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i Chromebook 14, 2024. If you want to spend as little as possible, get the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i Chromebook 14, 2023. This 14-inch Chromebook is a great option for anyone needing a simple device to do light work like responding to emails, text processing, spreadsheets, and video playback. The Core i3 configuration, paired with a FHD touch-sensitive display, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, is often on sale for around $400 directly from Lenovo. There are cheaper configurations, however, we don't recommend them unless you have an extremely light workload and don't mind compromising on the display quality. The touch-sensitive FHD display gets bright enough for well-lit settings and is reasonably color-accurate. Above the display sits an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues and clients can see and hear you clearly on video calls. The keyboard feels spacious but a tad mushy, and the touchpad is small and not always responsive. For those new to Chrome OS, know that this operating system is limited in the type of applications you can install, so you must ensure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or Android app. Number 5. Apple MacBook Air 15, 2024. Although Windows is the most used operating system in the corporate business world, some of you may prefer or have the option to use a MacBook, especially in this remote work era. If so, we recommend the Apple MacBook Air 15, 2024, one of the best laptops for business and personal use we've tested. This laptop is an incredibly well-built ultra-portable that comes with Apple's M3 silicon. Its performance is excellent for most productivity tasks, including some light photo or video editing. Its 15-inch display gives you plenty of room for split-screen multitasking and gets bright enough to combat glare, even outdoors in broad daylight. It also features best-in-class battery life, so you can comfortably get through a full workday on a single charge. The user experience is great. The keyboard feels spacious and tactile, and the touchpad is large and responsive. You get an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues can see and hear you clearly on video calls. Port selection is the major pain point here, as you only get two USB-C/Thunderbolt 3 ports. While you can use these to connect to two external monitors, this only works if the lid is closed. If you plan to use an external monitor with the laptop closed or prefer a more compact device for on-the-go use, you can get the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2024. It's cheaper, but the speakers don't sound as good. Unlike the 15-inch model, Apple still sells the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2024, with the M2 SoC as a budget-friendly option, coming in $100 cheaper than the 2024 model.